I'm having a little coughing fit, so hopefully it'll die down. Okay. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. I have a question for you. Can you see my arrow? Very good, very good. An arrow can only be shot, right, by pulling it back just enough. Now, obviously, we know that the more we pull it back, it's going to do what? Propel even further. Well, this past weekend, I visited Knott's Berry Farm. And the first ride I got on, my favorite ride and scariest ride for me, was Accelerator. Has anyone been on that ride? Good, I love you guys. We can go anytime. Well, if you've been on Accelerator, you know that when Accelerator starts off, it slightly pulls you back. Not a lot, but just enough to shoot us off at a whopping 80 miles an hour, straight up to the sky, or at least that's how it feels for me, to get us up so high. Well, today I'm going to touch briefly on something about things that are so small and how they can really propel us forward. Okay. You see, sometimes when life is pulling us back with different difficulties, right? Because we have all had those times from one time or another, and I'm going to share a few of my own today, it can really launch us into something great, or at least that's what they tell us, right? We have to keep focused and keep that aim. We might have to do this a few times, but we have to keep our aim going. I've shared this before, but I'm definitely a strong person of faith. So I recently reread the story of Elijah. And in the story of Elijah, he lived in a land where there had been a drought for about 3.5 years. So people were desperately in need of water. Well, Elijah one day decides he's going to go and visit King Ahab. And he says, King Ahab, I have the feeling of abundance of rain. Okay, now let's imagine King Ahab's face. It's crazy, right? Because there was no thunder, no clouds in the sky, no sign of rain. So where is he getting this from? To bring this closer to home, we've all had those feelings at one point in time, right? Where we just say, I can just feel it down in my gut, right? As some of you may say, or as I say, I feel it in my spirit, right? Now, I wasn't able to obtain a mustard seed for this demonstration, but if any of you have seen one or you go and look it up afterwards, I'll just tell you it's very small. I don't even know if my fingers can show you 1 to 2 centimeters. So again, being a person of faith, we hear the story of a mustard seed and having an amount of faith just the size of a mustard seed. Well, okay, so again, I'm trying to show you this 1 to 2 centimeters. Can you imagine that's all that God is saying I need from you just to get things started? Well, let's bring that to everybody. Can you imagine if you put just that amount into, let's say, our work, our health, our spiritual well-being, or whatever it is, right? Well, obviously that's just an analogy, but I know that there's somebody in here, I won't name any names, that maybe put that just little bit amount of energy into a relationship, let's say. And that relationship probably didn't go so far and was probably ended by the other person because you only put this much amount of energy. But anyway, it's just an example, right? And I'm just, it's just an example to remind us that we have to put forth energy. I have many mentors over my career and education and so forth, and that's one of the things they would always tell me, Atta'ya, you have to put forth the effort. No one is going to chase you down to say, you want me to be your mentor? Did you need help? Do you want to have a relationship with me? That's not going to happen. So that gives me point number 1. We have to put in what we want to receive back. Point number 2, activate hope. Now let's face it, hope won a presidential campaign. If it won a presidential campaign, I will have hope all day, every day, right? Hope has won races. It has achieved promotions. It has climbed mountains. But I personally seek fulfillment for myself, which is rooted in help and my hope to help other people. See, if you can't see abundance in your own future, why would anybody else see abundance for you in your future? There's a saying that I have up on my desk, and I welcome you all to come by. My desk is full of sayings and positive things so that I can be exuberant every single day. But it's by Karl Barth, and it says, though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start and make a brand new ending. We have to activate hope. We have to resurrect those old dreams and propel ourselves forward, which I just recently did. I applied to go back to school. Now, not that I need any more student loans, okay? I'm still a contractor. Northrop Grumman is not paying for my education. But it's about me activating that hope. And those seeing my undergraduate transcripts that looked a little different than I remember them, I said, I know that I am still capable of achieving this dream. Which brings me to point number 3. Take responsibility. How many people have ever had their feelings hurt or hurt someone else's feelings? Well, what was one of the, why you raise your hand too? Well, what are one of the things that we say or they say that I just wish they would say I'm sorry, right? They're powerful words. And why? Because that person or you, even though none of us have hurt anyone's feelings, are taking responsibility. Well, that's what I had to do when I looked at my transcripts, you guys. I had to take responsibility and say, Atta'ya, you did not necessarily give everything you wanted to receive. You did not necessarily activate hope. And therefore, it is reflected in your GPA. But I still have the opportunity to activate hope and move forward. So on my desk, I have a printout, another printout that says, enjoy the little things, for one day you will look back and discover that they were the big things. In other words, that mustard seed, it may look like something really little right now, but days, weeks, years from now, that click I made to submit my application, that reaching out and saying, want to go out on Friday night? Whatever it was, that little step might actually have a big impact. Thank you very much.